Hi everyone. So today we're going to learn how to do 3-digit addition using two strategies, the base 10 form and standard form. Now before you get too scared of 3-digit numbers, because I know they're pretty big numbers, I want you to think back on when we were in the classroom learning how to do 2-digit addition, because you all did an amazing job. Do you remember the steps that we did? Like stacking our numbers neatly, drawing our place value lines, the H, the T, and the O, starting in the ones place when we add, and boxing our answers. I mean, I could go on and on, but I want you to know those same steps are the steps we're going to be using when we add 3-digit numbers. So don't be scared of the big numbers. You all got this. So we're going to practice and learn about 3-digit addition by doing two different problems. The first problem is going to be a three-digit addition problem without regrouping. The second problem will be a 3-digit addition problem with regrouping. Again, we're going to go over two strategies, base 10 and standard form. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to do some 3-digit addition, and here is our problem. 132 plus 243. We're going to solve this problem using two different strategies, the base 10 strategy and the standard form. So before we start, we're going to do base 10 first, and we need to put this horizontal equation into a vertical form, just so it's easier for us to see the numbers that we're adding. So watch as I do it. Now, do you see how neatly I stacked the numbers and how they're organized? You need to make sure you're doing that when you do your work so you don't get your numbers mixed up or confused. The next thing we need to do is draw our place value lines. And remember our place value lines. The H stands for 100, T for tens, and the O for our ones place. We got our numbers stacked in vertical form. We have our place value lines, and now we are ready to add. When we do our base 10, first we want to make sure we draw each of the numbers using our base 10 blocks. So let's do it. 132. 1 in the hundreds place, so 100 block, 3 10 sticks, 2 ones. Before I go on, I like to double check and make sure that's 132, so let's count them. 100, 110, 120, 130, 131, 132. Nice job. Now let's draw 243 in base 10 blocks. 2 100 blocks, 4 10 sticks, 3 ones. Again, this should equal 243. Let's double check. 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 241, 242, 243. Great. Now that I've double checked, I drew my numbers correctly in base 10. Now I can add. Just like in when we did 2-digit addition, we always start in the ones place when we add. Always, always, always. So let's do that now. Let's add our ones first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 ones cubes, so that goes in the ones place, 5. Let's add our tens next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10 sticks, which also equals 70. But we have 7 10 6, so it goes in the tens place. And last, hundreds. 100, 200, 300, or 3 100 blocks, so it goes in the hundreds place. So our answer is 375. If this was a word problem and we wanted to add the label, remember the label would go right next to it, but it's not. So we're just going to box our answer to show that it is our final answer. Now we're going to do the same problem, but using the standard form. Just like we did here, we're going to stack our numbers in vertical form. Next, we're going to add our place value lines. And then we're going to start in the ones place. 2 plus 3 equals 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to put 5 in the ones place. Let's add our tens now. 3 tens plus 4 tens. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. 100 plus 200 equals 300. 375. And look at there, we got the same answer, which means we must have done our math correctly. Now, these are two different strategies to solve one problem. You can decide which one works best for you and which one you feel most confident in. Just note that base 10 form might take a little bit longer because you have to draw the base 10 blocks out for each number before you add. Whereas the standard form, you can go straight to adding the ones place, the tens, and then the hundreds. Each way works, and whatever way works best for you is the right strategy to use. Nice work. Right. So now we're going to do 3-digit addition with regrouping. Again, this is the problem, the equation 165 plus 247. Similar to the last problem, we are going to solve this problem using two strategies, the base 10 and then the standard form. So, similar to the other problem, we're going to take our horizontal equation and write it in vertical form so we can see the numbers better and it helps us organize our thinking. So, 165 plus 247. I stacked my numbers neatly. I have the addition sign and I drew my line underneath. The next step is we need to draw our place value lines. Just like before. The steps are exactly the same. My hundreds, my tens, and my ones. Now I'm ready to draw each number in base 10 form. I'm going to start with my top number, 165. I have 1 in the hundreds place, so 1 hundreds block. 6 10 sticks. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ones. All right. Now, then before I move on, I always want to double check that's the correct number. Let's count 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 161, 162, 163, 164, 165. Nice job. Now let's draw 247 in base 10 blocks. 2 is in the hundreds place, so 2 100 blocks. 4 10 sticks, and 7 ones cubes. 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, let's double check that's the correct number, and let's count. 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 241, 242, 243, 244, 245, 246, 247. Good job. Now that we've drawn each number correctly in base 10 form, now we can add. We always want to start in the ones place, just like before. So let's start with the ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, 12 ones cubes. Can I write 12 in the ones place? That's right, I can't. I cannot have 2 digits in a place value. You only can have 1 digit. So I need to circle when I make a 10. So I'm going to ask myself, did I make a 10 when I added my ones? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did. I said the word 10. I made a 10. Remember, 10 ones cubes is the same thing as 1 10 stick. So I'm going to cross out my 10 ones cubes and add a 10 stick. Remember, 10 ones cubes is the same value as 1 10 stick. Now I only have 2 ones cubes left over, and I can have the number 2 in the ones place, 2. Now let's add the tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't forget the one you regrouped. 8, 9, 10. Did I make a 10? Did I make 10 10 sticks? I did. So same thing like we did with the ones. We want to circle the 10 sticks. And 10 sticks equals what? Yes, it's the same thing as a 100 block. Cross it out, add 100 block. 10 sticks equals 100. Watch. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that's why I put 100 block. Don't forget, how many 10 sticks do I have left over? Only one. Now I can add my hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400. So I have 4 100 blocks. And my answer is 412. Do you notice how I clearly circled when I made a 10 ones and I crossed it out? I clearly circled when I had 10 sticks and then crossed it out. So when you're drawing your base 10, when you're doing 3-digit addition with regrouping, make sure your drawing is also very neat. Because if it's messy, you might add incorrectly or you'll forget about a 10 that you regrouped or 100 that you regrouped. So try to be as neat as possible so you can see what you've done. And again, I boxed my answer so I know that is my final answer, 412. All right, so we did it using base 10 form. Now let's do the same problem using the standard form. So same thing, I'm going to stack my numbers in vertical form. They're nice and stacked and they're neat. The next thing I need to do is draw my place value lines. H is for hundreds, T is for tens, O is for ones. Now that I have my place value lines, now I am ready to add. So let's try it standard. Again, I start in my ones place. 5 plus 7. What is 5 plus 7? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I like to write it on the side. 12. Again, we already said that we can't put 2 digits in one of the place values. So what do? I'm going to same thing. Ask myself, can I make a 10? Is there a 10 in 12? A hidden 10? There is. 12 is the same thing as 10 plus 2. There goes our hidden 10 or a hidden 10 stick. So I have 2 extra ones, and I'm going to regroup that 10 stick in the tens place. Don't forget to do that. Now I can add my tens. 6 tens plus 4 tens plus 1 tens. Well, 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 10 sticks. Again, can I put 11 in the tens place? No. Let me think. 11 10 sticks. Let me draw it down here. 11. Well, I can see a 10 and 11. I can do 10 10 sticks plus 1 10 stick. So that means 10 10 sticks is like 100, so I'm regrouping it. So I'll have 1 extra 10 stick, and I'll regroup into the hundreds place. So let's check on the hundreds. 100 plus 200 plus 100. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 400. So my answer is 412, just like this problem. Again, these are 2 different strategies you can use to solve this problem. Base 10 blocks, you need to make sure you're neat and drawing out your base 10 blocks for each number and adding them up. For standard form, although it may be faster, you need to be very careful and make sure you are understanding when it's time to regroup and making sure you add those up to get to your answer. Both strategies work. Decide which strategy works best for you and which one you are most confident in. So I hope those 2 practice problems helped you. And remember, you can choose which strategy works best for you when you do the worksheets on Seesaw. If it's too hard to draw directly on Seesaw, you can always use a separate piece of paper and then take a photo of your work and then upload them. I can't wait to see all of your work, and you all are going to do great. Remember to be kind and be safe. Bye!